How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Noki, and you're here once again for another edition of the news with Noki. In today's news, we have the most recent events coming out of Pokemon Go, as well as a crazy rumor for Pokemon Sword and Shield. And if we're on the topic of rumors, there are some absolute crazy ones coming out regarding Marvel and the MCU. Though now, on to the news! Where we begin today with Pokemon Go, where today is actually the very last day to encounter all of the tricky Pokemon that have been appearing the last few days in the game. These trickster Pokemon like Sudowoodo, Ditto, Fungus, and now Stunfisk were available for this short time more frequently in the wild, which of course was all due to Pokemon Go's April Fool's Day celebrations. On top of that, April's field research tasks are now available, and each time you achieve a research breakthrough, you will get the opportunity to encounter an Alolan Executor. Also, Niantic is extending last month's Team Rocket Special Research Quest, where everybody will now have until the end of this month to rescue the Shadow Entei. Legendary Pokemon Landorus has now debuted in the games, where you can encounter it in raids or through Go's Battle League until April 21st. And finally for Go, as I have reported before, Niantic is taking a number of steps to help accommodate players through the COVID-19 pandemic response. Well, now the developers are taking things even a step further by adding a 1 Pokecoin bundle to the shop. These bundles will be available each week as a one-time purchase, though will rotate out every single week, so make sure you get what's available while supplies last. This week's bundle includes 20 Ultra Balls and 15 Pineapple Berries and will be accessible for all players until April 13th. And finally for Pokemon today, we have a rumor that's been spreading throughout the community the last couple of days, which is that we very well could be receiving a brand new trailer for the DLC on April 18th, which does land on a Saturday, which would be awfully peculiar for the drop of a trailer. However, supposedly this brand new trailer will be showing off the Galarian form for Jinx, which will actually be taking the form of a mermaid, and its brand new Galarian evolution. Apparently, we will also be receiving some brand new information about Galarian Slowpoke, Gigantamax Weavile, who supposedly is wearing the fur coat of an Arcanine, the Gigantamax form for Dusk Noir, who apparently doesn't change much at all outside of a cape that's added to its design, Galarian Swalot, who now gains a fairy typing in addition to its poison, apparently having a chocolate bow tie and gummy worm mustache. And supposedly it will be revealed that Clara's signature Pokemon from Pokemon Sword will indeed be a Galarian Ugly, and Avery from Pokemon Shield will now have a Galarian Hypno, who is dark and psychic type, holding a silver platter. And honestly, altogether, I don't really see this rumor holding much credibility. Many of the different elements to it just seem way too far off from what we could really expect from this DLC. However, we will see in just a couple of months all of the amazing things that are coming to the Isle of Armor. And now on to Marvel, where we begin today with some crazy news regarding a potential plot leak for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. According to this rumor, Bucky has been taken under the probation of the US government and forced to work alongside John Walker's new Captain America. And Walker's cap has actually been given a different version of the Super Soldier Serum than Steve Rogers, one that includes the ability of mind control. On top of that, Bucky is actually tasked to track down and take down Sam Wilson and the brand new group of Falcon Squadron that he is training. Not wanting to play on the side of yet another group just seeking to control him, Bucky decides to ditch out completely and instead join up with Sam Wilson to begin their journey together. And as part of this rumor, there's actually a supposed tie-in to Steve Rogers, and apparently some form of training program that he started in the alternative timeline he created when he went back to live with Peggy Carter. Getting even juicier from there, the rumor goes on to state that there will indeed be a team-up between the original Captain America, Isaiah Bradley, and Sam Wilson, both utilizing the iconic shield in battle. And finally reveals that the pandemic plot that has been talked about for a number of weeks that has forced them to go back into reshoots due to the worldly events was actually due to the inclusion of the Mad Bomb, a device in the comics that made people lose their minds and become crazed, and that the series would indeed be delayed beyond the release of Black Widow in November, most likely at the beginning of the new year. And finally, for the story of the day, where we have to discuss all of the recent X-Men rumors that have been swirling around the Marvel community, which were originally stirred up by Disney Plus adding avatars of the X-Men to your profile options on the service, which led many devoted and dedicated fans down rabbit hole after rabbit hole, pursuing any information they could come up with as to why this most recent switch was made, and actually led some people to discovering that there could potentially be a revival coming for the fan favorite 90s X-Men cartoon series. Yet others have suggested, from what they've found, that maybe the Fox X-Men franchise will be making its way onto the Disney Plus platform. However, above all else, it does seem undeniable that Kevin Feige is working very diligently to incorporate the mutant characters into many of the upcoming Disney and Marvel projects. As the MCU movies continue to get a little bit overcrowded with characters, plots and subplots, and storyline complexities, adding even more to this mix could be very dangerous for fans who are trying to follow along. Whereas the Disney Plus side to the MCU is essentially wide open at this point. And this would actually permit many of these characters to be brought over to the silver screen in the event that they are needed. If you enjoyed today's content, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below as to what you thought of today's stories. Also, please drop a max knuckle all over that like button to help show your support. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel in order to stay up to date on all of my daily content, including these news with Nokis that go up 3 times a week. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Professor Noki signing out once again for Noki Talks.